Never use a fuel injector cleaner until you watch this video. Because right now, somewhere in America, a driver is pouring a bottle of that stuff into their gas tank, thinking they're doing their car a favor. And 6 months later, they're staring at a repair bill for over $2,000, wondering what went wrong. That driver could be you. And the worst part is, they had no idea the product they trusted was making things worse, not better. Today, we're exposing the fuel injector cleaners you should never go near, and the ones that actually work. Stay until the end, because number 5 on the good list genuinely surprised us, and it might be sitting on a shelf at your local auto parts store for under $10 right now. Let's get into it. So first, let's talk about what a fuel injector actually does, because if you don't understand this, none of the rest of it makes sense. Your engine runs on a precise mix of air and fuel. The injector sprays that fuel in a fine mist directly into the combustion chamber. When it works perfectly, you get smooth acceleration, great gas mileage, and a happy engine. But when it gets dirty, everything falls apart. You get rough idling, poor fuel economy, misfires, that annoying hesitation when you press the gas. And if you ignore it long enough, you're looking at a full injector replacement, which can run anywhere from $800 to $1,500 depending on your car. That's why people buy injector cleaners. The idea makes total sense. Pour it in, drive around, problem solved. But here's what most drivers don't know. Not all of these products are created equal. Some of them are basically just expensive colored water with a fancy label. And some are actually aggressive enough to damage seals, O-rings, and even your fuel pump if used incorrectly or too often. So how do you know which is which? That's exactly what we're breaking down today. Let's start with the ones you should avoid. And I want you to pay close attention here, because some of these are extremely popular. Like, you've probably seen them at Walmart or AutoZone 100 times and assumed they were fine because everyone buys them. First up, avoid any generic store-brand injector cleaner with no clear ingredient list. You know the ones. They're the bottles sitting on the bottom shelf, $4, bright label, promising to clean your entire fuel system. Sounds amazing, right? The problem is, without knowing what's actually in the formula, you have no idea how concentrated it is, or whether it's safe for your specific fuel system. Some of these cheap formulas have a very high solvent concentration that can dry out rubber seals over time. And once those seals start failing, fuel can leak into places it absolutely should not be. We're talking fire hazard territory, not worth saving $4. Now, the next type is anything marketed as an ultra-concentrated mega clean with instructions that say to use it every time you fill up. Here's the thing. Fuel injector cleaner is not a dietary supplement. You don't take it daily. These products that encourage overuse are banking on you buying more bottles. But chemically, running a strong detergent through your system every single fill-up stresses the internal components of your fuel pump. Mechanics have seen this pattern over and over. Customer uses injector cleaner constantly. Fuel pump fails prematurely. $800 repair. The product wins. You lose. Here's where things get even more misleading. It's the water-based formula. These are sometimes sold as eco-friendly or safe for all engines. And while they technically won't damage anything, they also won't do anything. Water and fuel don't mix well. The cleaning agents in these formulas simply don't penetrate carbon deposits the way petroleum-based solvents do. You might as well pour the $10 straight into your gas tank and skip the bottle entirely. At least then you're not fooling yourself. And this next category is surprisingly popular despite the problems. It's actually one with a massive marketing budget and a huge following online. We're not going to name it directly, but if you look at independent lab tests run by automotive engineers rather than paid review sites, several top-selling injector cleaners showed almost zero measurable cleaning effect on injectors that were moderately fouled. They work fine on an already clean engine. But on an engine that actually needs help? Almost nothing. That's like selling a mop that only works on dry floors. And finally, this last type might be the biggest trap of all. It's anything that claims to fix misfires, rough idle, and low compression all in one bottle. Listen, if your car has a misfire, that is a diagnostic problem. It could be a bad coil pack, a failing spark plug, a vacuum leak, low compression from worn piston rings. No liquid you pour into a gas tank is fixing a mechanical or electrical failure. Products that make these claims are preying on desperate car owners who don't want to spend money at the shop. And in some cases, those owners end up at the shop anyway, 3 months later, with a worse problem and less money. Don't fall for it. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. The 5 fuel injector cleaners that actually work. And I mean genuinely, measurably, proven by actual testing, work. At the top of the list is a product that professional mechanics have recommended for decades, and it has the independent test data to back it up. It's Chevron Techron Concentrate Plus. This isn't sponsored. This is just what the data says. Techron uses a polyethyramine-based formula, which sounds complicated, but basically means it chemically bonds to carbon deposits and pulls them off the injector tip in a way that most cleaners simply cannot match. In testing done by university automotive programs and independent labs, Techron consistently showed measurable improvement in fuel flow and injector spray pattern after a single treatment. One bottle, around $15 to $20, used every 3,000 miles or so. That's it. Simple, proven, effective. Another product mechanics constantly swear by is BG44K. Now, this one is a little harder to find at your regular store because it's primarily sold through automotive shops and dealerships, and there is a reason for that. BG44K is the stuff mechanics themselves use when they want to clean a fuel system without pulling the injectors out. The formula is highly concentrated, which means one 12-ounce can treats a full tank of gas, and the results are aggressive in the best possible way. Carbon deposits that have been building up for years start breaking down within a single tank. It runs about $20 to $30 a can, which sounds like a lot until you realize a professional fuel injection cleaning service at a shop can cost anywhere from $150 to $300. BG44K is the DIY version of that service, and it legitimately works. This next cleaner attacks the problem from multiple angles. It's Redline SI1 Complete Fuel System Cleaner. This product doesn't just clean the injectors, it also cleans the intake valves, the combustion chamber, and even addresses deposits in the fuel pump. For direct injection engines, which are increasingly common in modern cars and are notorious for carbon buildup on the intake valves, Redline SI1 is one of the few over-the-counter options that actually penetrates the right areas. One bottle is around $15, and it can genuinely extend the time between needing a professional cleaning service, which again can cost hundreds of dollars. Worth every penny. Now, if you drive a European car, this is the one you need to hear about. It's Liqui-Moly Techron. If you drive a BMW, Mercedes, Audi, or Volkswagen, pay close attention because this product is specifically designed for the tight tolerances and high-pressure injection systems found in European vehicles. Liqui-Moly is a German brand with extremely high manufacturing standards, and in Europe, it is considered one of the gold standards in automotive chemicals. Independent tests show significant improvement in injector atomization, which means fuel sprays more evenly, burns more completely, and your fuel economy actually improves. In some cases, drivers reported saving anywhere from 2 to 5% on fuel costs after a consistent cleaning regimen. Doesn't sound like much until you realize that adds up to real money over a year of driving. And finally, the sleeper pick that genuinely surprised us. It's Seafoam Motor Treatment. It doesn't have the biggest marketing budget, and it isn't always the flashiest product on the shelf, but it has one of the most loyal followings in the entire DIY automotive community. After looking at the chemistry and the long-term user feedback, the loyalty makes complete sense. Seafoam is petroleum-based, which means it actually mixes with fuel and oil rather than just floating on top. It cleans injectors, lubricates the upper cylinder, and stabilizes fuel, which makes it especially useful for cars that sit for long periods of time. Older vehicles benefit from seafoam because it's gentle enough not to damage aged rubber components, while still being effective enough to dissolve gum and varnish deposits. One can is around $10 to $12, and it can be used in the gas tank, the oil, or even the intake. It is one of the most versatile automotive products ever made, and the fact that it costs less than a fast food meal for two is almost criminal. Now, before you go out and buy any of these, here's what you need to know about using them correctly, because even a great product used the wrong way can waste your money. Always add the cleaner before you fill up with gas. Pour the bottle in first, then pump your fuel. This ensures it gets properly mixed throughout the entire tank, rather than just sitting at the bottom. Never double dose, thinking you'll get double results. You won't. You'll just stress your fuel system. Follow the instructions on the label and use it at the recommended interval, which for most of these products is every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. And finally, if your check engine light is on and your car is misfiring badly, do not use injector cleaner as a substitute for an actual diagnosis. Go get the codes read first. Many auto parts stores do this for free. Know what you're dealing with. Then decide if a cleaning treatment makes sense alongside the actual repair. The difference between using the right product and the wrong one isn't just $20. It's the difference between a healthy fuel system that runs smoothly for 200,000 miles and a corroded, gummed-up mess that sends you to the dealership for a repair bill that ruins your month. Your car works hard for you every single day. The least you can do is put the right stuff in it. If this video helped you, hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps more people find this information before they make a mistake that costs them thousands. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we cover stuff like this every week. Real automotive advice with no fluff and no nonsense. And drop a comment below telling us what car you drive and whether you've ever used an injector cleaner before. We read every single comment, and we want to know your experience. Drive smart, take care of your engine, and we'll see you in the next one.